to another cultured foolishness. This is episode 7. We
Seven,
made it
seven.
to 7. Appreciate everybody who's been watching. I am Creed of Exodus Studios and architectsofmars.com and my co-host Eon.
Coach Tamara Simone, your favorite life coach's favorite life coach. If you don't know, now you know.
Baby. So, and actually, that's a perfect segue to the title of this episode. Is actually what is it? Unbig my back attack.
Yes,
Because
the
one
attack
thing
on the
about
big backs is
yo,
real.
it's real out here in the field. As a millennial and we are in the age group of people whose metabolisms are starting to betray us real tough. And
It's betrayal.
it's betrayal because
It's
like you could really, I mean, for my Chicago people, like you literally could just go and eat two pizza puffs and some fries with some out sauce, and it's just like, but now, but now, first of all, your chest gonna hurt. Then
all types of heartburn and indigestion.
oh my god, just bad. So
All bad.
ultimately, this episode is just about what are some things we could do to, curb that and also just making light of it in some ways because every time you turn around and you get on social media, somebody has concocted some type of amazingly fat concoction. Like, who is fat and high just coming up with this shit?
And if that's not showing up on your social media, then congratulations.
Congratulations.
But
You're not human and
clearly
don't
we
like food.
absorb a lot of food, so we're a foodie. And it's hard out here, and not only that, but um as you stated, with our metabolism betraying us, I think that, especially, like you stated, our generation, me specifically, I'm struggling with accepting the fact that my metabolism is not what it was, and that I used to literally be able to eat whatever I wanted, pretty much whenever I wanted, gone about my business, and still be out here killing them in these streets. And now, like, if I just have just a little bit too much fun on a Saturday from a food level, then the scale is going to disrespect me early Sunday morning, very early Sunday morning. It's going to it is going to treat my life. And it's hard to accept that. And for me, I don't have children. So I don't have the whole, well, I grew a human and popped a life out of me. I don't have that. I just been out here eating good, and
Trust
not for
me,
anyone but myself.
it's a lot of people who can attest to those things, and it just because you haven't had kids yet doesn't mean or ever. um,
I know, but it feels like society gives women who have given birth
a pass a
a
little,
pass.
yeah.
But when it's like you ain't had no kids, okay, so you just fat for no reason. So you just unjustifiably fat. Like, what is this about?
Well,
So
that's
it
how. Well, all men get that because we don't have the option to have kids. So if a man get fat, it's just like what are you doing? And trust me, I've done it to other men. No, it's there.
okay.
It's there.
Look, you know
Even
better than me.
because this is the thing. Like, as a woman, you don't see the things that happen to overweight men among men. It's different
Okay.
because I know. And I'm gonna just be honest. Sometimes I've had situations where it was somebody around me who was overweight, and they was making whatever I was trying to do be slower because they were in my way or something like that. And I didn't have no good energy coming off of me towards that person, and I'm pretty sure they felt it. I'm gonna just say it like that, not to be, you know, it's just real life, man. I'm not about to sugarcoat how life is. Like, it is what it is. So whatever skin you in, the experiences you gonna have based on that. So you could be mad at what I'm saying, but you didn't got some knife eyes for being in the way of somebody because you moving slower or whatever. And that just is what it is. It sucks. But because I'm not in that state, I just be kind of like, I don't have no sympathy because again, and to your earlier point of the women who had children get a pass per se, what pass men get? Like, you really just sat up there and ate. Like, the fuck? So it's literally the energy of that towards from men who aren't in that state towards men that are. So no, they getting some not good vibes,
Yeah,
just like women are. It's just in a different way, and men are less verbal than y'all too. So
yeah,
it's more of
yeah, I could
those
see
type
that.
of interactions, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely because I mean, even and like again, this isn't my experience because I don't have children, never have given birth or anything like that. But like, unfortunately, we live in a very comparative society, so one woman to have kids and snap back like it's nothing, and because the next woman don't do it, then
Like,
she's judged like, well, such and such did it, so why can't
what's
you?
wrong
And
with
it's
you?
like it
Everybody's situation not the same at all.
everyone's body is not the same, everyone's
Yep.
birth was not the same.
Yep.
And then like even and this is kind of something that, and you know what, let me give you your flowers, because 20 years ago, Creed had he had no sympathy for these chunky niggas. He really didn't, myself included. He had no sympathy for me. He was like, you better get this shit together if you want to have X, Y, and Z in life. Um
I,
and and all I'm saying is that now, while you may still have that underlying point of view, you understand that it's not as simple as get your shit together.
no, because I'm trying to lose. I think once you get to a certain age, you understand it too. Because it's like, I feel like once you get over 30, it's like a perpetual, man, if I could just lose 20 pounds. Like, it just never feels like you are at the space you want to be unless you really, really, really on it, or you like a world class athlete or an athletic person in general, been keeping it together from that time or whatever the case may be. And even those people probably in their own head judging, like, oh, if I could lose this amount, I could be this, because we all have weird body dysmorphia. Like, I look at old pictures of myself, and at that time, I thought that I looked the way that I look now, and I definitely did not. I was like, are those abs? That young man didn't even like the
Man, look.
damn meme with Makai Pfeiffer with the cigarette. Like, really didn't
I mean,
understand how you
didn't
would do half that.
understand. And I mean, like that's why there's this huge Ozempic and all those other weight loss drugs, phenomenons, because it's not and I do want to speak to this because I'm not an advocate of BBLs or anything like that. But anyway, um it's not always as easy as just go to the gym. Like, one, the gym don't work for everybody the same way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you talk about men and women, because men just lose weight
Different.
quicker,
Yeah.
and relatively faster than women. Literally, how many times have you seen a couple online and they like, oh, we went on a weight loss journey together, and 13 months later, I lost 45 pounds and he lost 70, and they doing the same meal preps, working out the same day, but it's just not as easy. And explaining it is not an excuse. I'm not trying to come up with an excuse, but it's a scientific fact that it's harder for women to lose weight than men.
Exactly. And then once you put age into the equation, then that's a whole nother layer to it.
And
And
underlying health issues, make like women has fibroids and things like that. Like again, when you were younger, you was just kind of like, that sounds like some shit to just excuse you from, you know what I'm saying, hitting that
no,
pop ass drive through. And
no.
and you
And
and just because
that's
you got fibroids don't mean you should be in the pop ass drive through and be like, oh well,
you
I got fibroids.
you
But
absolutely shouldn't be there now. Actually.
right, actually, you should really, speed up a little bit when you drive past, just so you don't get too much of that biscuit aroma. So, um, I haven't had Popeyes in so many years. I haven't.
I
I have
know
not.
I probably go, it might be like 13 to 14 months in between each time because I can't even remember the last time. I
I
go,
ain't had
I'm not,
Popeyes in damn near 5 years.
damn, because them red beans are right. Sometimes I just be
They a
like,
fool,
yo, I'm
and
about to fuck with y'all right
I'd
quick.
love a nigga cookie right now. Give me a nigga cookie right this on air. But
Ah!
but I
Shout out
ain't.
to April. That was
but
about the funniest shit she ever said. I was dead. Nigga
but
cookie. Young biscuits.
but yeah, no. So again, and there's a thing too. Like I used to be able to eat all the Popeyes and KFC and whatever I
Oh man.
wanted. And again, it was, it was not a thing. And I, even into my 20s, I was able to do that. And then it just got to a point where the metabolism was like,
It's like,
nah,
ha. Nah,
sight
it
your
didn't say
life.
nah, it
This shit is
laughed. It was like, ha.
over. This shit is over for you.
Deuces.
Over. And how do you deal with that? Like, I guess that's, we can kind of lead into that. How do you deal with this new metabolism that you have and now having indigestion and you want to chow down on some jerk villa and everything else, but you got to take into consideration that you may get a little heartburn from that. And like, it's we're in this point of life where we now have to think about and consider those things. I know people who I graduated high school with who died from a heart attack.
Me too.
Yeah, but I'm younger than you,
I know.
like a nice amount younger.
I know.
And not that it's okay for you because you're still young, but I'm just saying, like, we're at that point where even
No,
though you
I
don't
know.
think it's happening,
It's
it's
happening.
definitely
It's
happening. And
scary.
it's like, how do you maneuver that?
Yeah. I
And then
mean,
like just because you skinny don't mean you healthy.
oh, that's the
Okay, so you
biggest.
right, so your back not big. Congratulations.
Your metabolism is working to burn it off, but you still got the same effects of somebody who is bigger because you still eat shit that's fat, that's clogging your arteries and all this shit. Like how many skinny dudes you just seen have heart attacks? Plenty, and they be eating Harold's
Plenty.
all the time. Don't get it twisted. It's the same shit. That's why, you know, while I did have a view that was a little bit more harsh when I'm younger, that's why I have softened up because as I get older, I understand all the different factors that make people be that way. But unfortunately, there are people who just greedy and need to chill out. That
There is a
exists,
discipline with it for sure.
but it's people who having like actual issues with that. So I think the main thing that helped me and helps me is I just cut out certain stuff from my diet that I feel number one, I know are not the healthiest, when it comes to like meat and overdoing carbs and stuff like that. Like I just try to shift more into vegetables and fruit and just like nuts, stuff like that. More whole forms of fuel for your body and not just a whole bunch of processed food. I've really been cutting that down a lot because that's where we really be fucking up. I think a lot of the problems that a lot of people have with weight comes with the processed food, is your body don't even know how to process it because it's fake. You know, it's not
Yeah.
even real for real. Like, not like, just eating fruits and vegetables. That's why you see these vegans who do the raw vegan shit. They be looking great because they're not putting a lot of like bad stuff in their body that's holding on to create that overweight. So just changing the diet up, it'd be tough because trust me,
And,
I live in Koreatown. There's fucking restaurants all around me smelling good as soon as you leave the damn house, and you be like, I could get a burrito, I could get some
and
burrito barbecue, I could get, like the temptation is there heavy.
but even outside of that, because I'm glad you kind of delved into that too. And again, I'm an advocate of all that stuff. Like I grocery shop actually 1 to 2 times a week because I get so much unprocessed stuff. Unprocessed stuff goes bad quick.
Yep.
So you can't just buy a whole bunch of it and it lasts 2 weeks. No, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
go bad. So you
Yep.
have to shop in shorter trips.
Same.
Um, in order to incorporate that. And I'm not going to say I do partake in some processed foods, but um, when you talk about, last week we talked about, like the mental health and things like that, and what we're dealing with as it pertains to these expectations. So then when you throw in, okay, you have to also be healthy and do this, that, and the third. First of all, I've done it all. Food prepping takes a lot of time and a lot of energy out
Mm-hmm.
of you. I cannot tell you how many
Mm-hmm.
Sundays that I spend several hours and I'm literally completely wiped out from food prepping for the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have to cook no more during the week, but um sometimes you don't want the same thing every single day. So then you have to, what I'm saying, switch it up with the food prep, which
Well,
also which takes more effort.
yeah,
Or
but
you could cut it, or you could make it to where you food prep in the middle of the week so you don't do so much on Sunday, but there's an aspect of that too. And then, like, there's a lot of information out there about what to eat, what not to eat, what to do, what not to do. I mean, I've been told, like, oh, you have to go to the gym twice a day if you really want to see XYZ results. I
mm,
don't have time
time.
for that. Like,
Who does?
we already talked about these expectations of having to work and do X, Y, and Z and pay these bills and be a good friend, daughter, granddaughter, niece, whoever the hell, and parent, if that's, what I'm saying, what you do. There, when is there time to work out twice a day and do all this meal prep and not incorporate this and that? I have a friend, shout out to Jossie, who is vegan, but she's a stay-at-home mom. And even she said, like, this is a lot of work
Yeah.
being vegan. Like, she takes hours preparing meals,
Yeah.
like a meal, like not like, oh, we're gonna have this for the next week. No, dinner on Thursday took 2.5 hours. Man,
I mean, I don't be taking that long to make vegan meals, but
no.
it just depends on what you're trying to make. If you're trying to make something that have like you trying to make something taste like meat or do all these
and
extra things, and if she trying to get her kids to eat it in, maybe she do have to do all this extra
and
shit.
how vegan are your meals? Because she's using vegan cheese and
Oh,
all
right,
type. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
and
See, I
it's
just don't eat cheese or don't eat that stuff because I don't even want to add that because that do add time and all the effort to it. So I just strip it down, which probably to so my thing about being a vegan is if you turn around and using a bunch of processed vegan shit, then you right back in the same boat again.
yep.
So
Might as well be
I
eating chicken.
so I typically I don't really like the fake meat like that. Like
I don't either.
every once in a blue moon, like if I'm out and it's like I don't really want to eat beef and they have like an impossible burger, I might do it just because, I don't want to eat beef and that once in a while having that ain't really a big deal. But if
Yeah.
you making that like a consistent part of your diet. It's all salty. It's too much shit going on with that. So yeah, I wouldn't really do that on a regular. I just bean protein, nuts, Um,
and then there's also this misconception that if you vegan, then one, you're healthy, and two, you're skinny, and that's not always the case. Ain't Lizzo vegan?
hell no.
No, no, they some I read an article that she's vegan or that she's vegetarian. It's something in that neighborhood. I'm not. Hey, I can.
That
You see how he
sounds
looking at
like
me right now?
Cappington right there. That sounds like
I mean,
a
I'm not saying it's
PR
a.
lie. That's what that sounds like. I'm
I'm
not
not
even
saying
about to
it's a
mince
hundred
words
percent
on that.
true. I'm just saying that I read somewhere that that was the case. I also saw her get on camera and eat an Oreo that she put mustard on first. So
Now, in her defense, that is vegan still, even though it's disgusting because Oreos are vegan, weirdly. There's nothing in it that is, which is actually scary. So you got some white cream shit and it ain't, it's just, what is that made of? Like, stop it. Ugh, that's why I don't be eating nothing. Like, I
yeah,
just stop eating certain shit. Like, I'm at a point now where I want to just learn how to make like cookies and certain shit just so I can have it
I
and know
do
what the
too.
fuck is in it because
I want to make
even
some
that,
oatmeal raisin cookies from scratch.
yes.
Like, like that's what I
Mm,
want to do.
yes. Now that's like medium back. That's medium backish, I would say. But oatmeal
I
chocolate
mean,
chip might be big back.
listen, if it's homemade, then I
At least
would.
you can control what's in it.
What's
You
in
can
it?
try to make it healthier, which I would do. So I think that's a big key to it. So ultimately, it's controlling the processed stuff that comes in your
There's
house.
definitely a discipline that has to come to
Hmm.
it. You do have to, you know, just be mindful of what it is that you're partaking, and then just kind of say, okay, well, how can I substitute this?
Right.
And for me, I have a mean sweet tooth, and I'm at that age where after I have a meal, I want something sweet. I don't know when that happened, but this is where we are. And so for me, a lot of times it's like, oh, a little cookie, little cake, little muffin. But I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can have a smoothie. Maybe I can, get some yogurt with some granola or something. Like maybe I can
Hmm.
have some, or maybe a banana,
Yeah.
like something that is not terrible for me, that will still satisfy the sweet tooth.
Hmm.
So it's definitely, being mindful of that and making better choices, but it's hard. I'm learning that I stress eat. So,
Mm.
that was also a shift, because at one point in time when I was stressed out, then the last thing I wanted to do was eat. I would lose my appetite. I would actually lose weight when I was stressed out.
Huh.
Now when I'm stressed out, I'm like, all I got all this bullshit going on. Man, give me some cheesecake.
You know what? I think I might do that too now that I think about it. Because the times when I'm kind of got a lot of shit going on, that's when I'm like, I need some Dave's. I need some Dave's hot chicken. That's what I want. I don't care if I shouldn't have it. And I will just justify it so
But like, look,
hard
I'm
in my
grown and I'm
head.
stressed out.
And I'm going to get what I want because I can. And
I'm
that's what
I,
I'm
I need
goddamn
I
it
need
do.
a win. I need a
Mm.
win.
And
I
it ain't
gotta
one.
I'm dealing with all this
Yeah. So I'm going to
shit
get
that
what I
I'm
want
gonna have my way in this
this
particular
way.
area at this time.
There it is. There it is.
And
Dang.
and then your back just expands.
Big Backery. Big Backery.
And and it's really crazy, because you damned if you do and you damned if you don't, from the standpoint that, I know people who can't cook. So they eat out all the time. That ain't good. But then if you
Oh,
can cook, like for real throw down, then you just in the house doing
doing all type of big back shit.
what did I tell you I made for dinner tonight?
Um,
Barbecue jerk meatloaf and fried cabbage. And by fried, I mean like it's,
it's
I
not
ain't like
fried in a batter. It's just like
right.
pan fried. I
Pan
know.
fried and some, yes, with some vegetables and some
Right,
chicken
right. That
sausage cut up
sounds
in there.
good. Ooh,
It,
that
it was
sounds
good.
good.
Yeah,
That
the
sounds
undozy
good.
chicken sausage. Yeah,
Oh,
put
that
that up in there.
sounds good.
Little
That
razzle dazzle. You know,
That
my husband
sounds.
had to talk me out of making a sweet potato cornbread. That was big back for real, for real. So again, choices.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The meatloaf is meat, and the cabbage is vegetable. So you know, with no carbs for real outside the breadcrumbs you put in the mix. But you know,
Right, right.
that's neither here nor there. But again, if you can cook, it's in the crib cooking up all type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I'm guilty. I'll be coming up with concoctions when
Be
I'm
like, oh, I
super
know what I'm gonna
hungry.
do. It's you know,
Then you
like oh,
have I'll be making waffles out of different shit. It's ignorant, but
it's the weekend. Let me do some grilled biscuits. Let me make some salmon croquettes. Let me you know how I do.
salmon croquettes. That just man, I could smell it. I was like, what? That's how you know you grown with shit that not that we didn't like when we was kids, but
We
we
didn't
didn't
care.
appreciate it until we got older. Cause I remember she made it, our mom made it when I was a teenager, and I was like,
Right.
yeah, this is something. This is something here. I was sleeping on this. So I think she made some cornbread with it too. I was like, okay.
And I
Okay.
remember she used to do the corn cakes, and them used to be the
Those
pound that
was smacking.
those was a smack attack.
Yeah,
You
those
want to
was
talk about a
smacking.
big back attack? Them
Mm.
was a
I
smack
used to make a
attack.
little sandwich out of those with the
Yeah, with some chicken or something, man.
no with the salmon croquettes.
Oh, see, I wasn't doing that.
Oh,
She had some
oh,
chicken or something. She would fry some chicken and then do the little corn cakes. She would do it. Man, man, listen.
yeah.
And we could do that and then go on about our business
Oh, and not gain not
and
a pound.
lost weight, lost 2 pounds.
You eat heavy like that and go straight to sleep too. Not even like just everything wrong.
Like you're like, I feel light as a feather.
Mm, mm, mm. But I guess the main thing is trying to, and I say this all the time, just going back to, when we even talk about this, ultimately, I just want you to be healthy, the cosmetic side effect sometimes or a lot of the times is you get an appearance that more of what you would want or something like that, but at the end of the day I just want you to be healthy so you here laughing with me. I don't want nobody having no heart attacks and
Oh,
all
for
this other
sure.
crazy
And
stuff,
or
that's
diabetes and all of the things like that's
exactly.
also a
Hmm.
factor. And I mean, for me, because again, I'm and a lot of women I know, if you had a fast metabolism back in the day, then this is hard to accept that your metabolism slowed down and you can't just rock how you've been rocking.
Hmm.
So that is a struggle. And so I would say to those women, and even speaking to myself, the key is, this is a journey, this is a season. Just because your back big now, don't mean your back gonna be big forever. And you have to love yourself at every stage that you are. You can't just say I'm only gonna love myself if I'm skinny or if I'm this
Yeah,
size or if I unbig my back, then I got all the self love in the world. No, you gotta love yourself at every stage that you're in. Um, Big back and all.
absolutely, absolutely. Like
So,
that is key. You definitely have to love
because it's real
yourself
easy to beat yourself
regardless.
up when
Yeah,
you are not where you want to be, but it's
exactly.
like,
And
nah.
right. And always, it's not even just the physical, like in
Mhm.
other ways, like, it's easy to do that, but you have to embrace the journey. That's a part of the whole process and just go with the flow of it and everything will be beautiful. Um, I feel like that's a good place to
Yeah, we can
wrap
go
it
ahead
up
and
this
pin
week.
it now. So if your
Um,
back is big, it's gonna be all right.
it's gonna be all
I'm not
right.
saying let it keep expanding unless that's just how you want to be.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I'm
if
an advocate of just being healthy. So just be healthy. And typically the big backness and the healthiness don't really mesh. So,
and just think
tip,
about the decisions that you're making. If you about to
uh,
eat some deep fried rib tips, maybe think about that.
shit
Just,
sound good as hell
it does.
though.
I don't even eat
Damn.
pork and it sounds good. I saw
Damn.
them.
No, I
I'll send
seen
you
it too.
the.
As soon as you said it, I saw like every video I've seen like pop up in my brain. And it's just like, why do we do this? The only thing, and it's funny because they cut it like it, the damn deep fried watermelons. I wanted to really throw a shoe at my phone and it go through my phone and hit the motherfucker who did that. It really upset me so hard when I saw that. Like, who the fuck? Like, just thinking of, even if I like watermelon, just thinking of the texture of watermelon and then a fried chicken batter around it just really makes
Yeah,
me gag. It's just like, what?
niggas be doing anything,
Any damn thing for
literally
clicks.
anything.
And we have integrity here, okay? So we're gonna keep it real. We're not gonna do weird stuff, okay?
Yeah, no,
Like,
that's
no,
not.
that's
No.
no, that's gonna be a big no for us. But on that note, I think we're gonna end it here. This was Culture Foolishness. I am Creed of Architects Mars and exitstudios.com. And my co-host is.
Coach Tamara Simone.
And this episode was brought to you by Architects Mars. We still got the sample sale going, so check us out. And if I get enough comments, I might bring this shirt back. So holler at your
Look
boy.
it up.
So we will holler at y'all. Peace, peace.